That's the court business, my lord. Mr. Madlala, have you,
Yes, advocate.
have you testified in court before?
Uke wathula ubufakazi
This
bakho phambili
incident.
enkantolo mayelana ke nalesi sigameko?
No, I mean before this incident, have you ever testified in any
Oh.
court, whether it's a lower court, small claims court, high court?
Angikaze ngitestify.
I've never testified in court before.
Okay. It's your first time now.
Uyaqala.
Yebo.
Ukuza la enkantolo.
Yebo.
Yes, it's my first time.
And then when you are testifying, Mr. Madlala, I am putting questions to you and you are expected to give answers. Do you understand that?
Uyabona uma uthula ubufakazi bakho yimina ubuza imibuzo kanti kulindeleke ukuthi wena ke uphendule leyo mibuzo.
So that you
Yes,
don't
madam.
find yourself asking me questions, because I'm not the one who is giving answers.
Ungazoyithola ke usubuza uadvocate imibuzo lapha ngoba ke akusiwuyena ophana ngeimpendulo. Yazwa?
Kunzima ngiyakuzwa.
It is difficult. I can hear you, but it is difficult.
Unfortunately, it's the procedure that you have to follow when you are testifying in court under cross-examination.
Ngeshwa ke iyona ndlela ke okanye inkambo yala enkantolo uma ngabe uthula ubufakazi bakho la enkantolo.
If
I
you
hear you,
want,
advocate.
if you want me to repeat the question, you must just tell me to repeat the question.
Uma ngabe ke uyathanda ukuthi ngikubuze ufuna ukuthi ngiphinde lo mbuzo ungakwenza lokho.
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
I hear you, advocate.
Okay. And the reason, Mr. Madlala, why you are before this court, it's because we want to find out from you what transpired on the date of the incident.
Manje isizathu esenza ukuthi wena uyithola ube la enkantolo namhlanje sifuna ukwazi ukuthi kwenzakalani ngalolo suku lesigameko.
Yebo ngiyazwakala.
Yes, I can hear that.
We know what has been said by other witnesses in their statements.
Siyazi ukuthi wakhulunywa ngabanye ofakazi batheni kuma statement wabo lokho siyakwazi.
We know what those who have testified have said before this court.
Nalabo ke abathule ubufakazi babo la enkantolo siyazi ukuthi nabo batheni.
So if I happen to refer you to the evidence of the witness, it's because I want you to comment on your own as a person who was there inside the
Yabona
house when the incident took place.
uma ngikuthatha ngikusa ke kwingxenye ethize ubufakazi bomuntu othize ngithanda nje ukuthi wena okanye ngifisa ukuthi wena ukwazi ukukhuluma ngokwakho ukuthi ke ubufakazi bakho buthini mayelana ke nalokho kwenzeka ngelanga lesigameko uma ke usuthathanisa nalokho okukhulunywa nalaba abanye uyazwakala.
Ngithanda ukudideka mathi advocate ngizokhomenta mengifundela into zabanye abantu.
I get a bit confused when the advocate is saying that she will be referring me to the statements of other people. It's going to be difficult.
Kuzoba nzima ukuthi ngiphendule into eyabhalwa omunye umuntu.
It will be difficult for me to answer what was written by someone else.
But eyami kuzoba lula ukuthi ngiziphendulele because into eqondene nami.
Where mine is concerned, it will be easy for me to can respond to it because it has to do with me.
Okay. Let's go step by step, Mr. Madlala. You'll see what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ake sithathe nje isinyathelo ngesinyathelo uzobona ukuthi
Okay.
understood.
Thank you.
And
No
I want,
problem.
and I want to believe that you have passed the metric, your metric, Mr. Madlala, so that I know which level do I engage you in terms of the questions, the line of questioning.
Cabanga ke ukuthi uma tikolotsheni umphasile ke ngikwazi ukuthi nami mangibuza imibuzo lo kanye mangikhulumisana nawe lapho ngikazi ukuthi kumele ngihlale kweliphi izinga ke lokubuza imibuzo.
I suppose the witness doesn't have to answer the question.
Which metric are you referring to? The one which you pass with 30%? Or the one which I did about 50 years ago?
No, I think from the age of of the witness. It's the current one.
I see, okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes, let's continue.
My qualifications, I don't think a witness, I think witness ngabe nombani owayekhona no akufanele ukuthi kuzoba umuntu ofundile as long as ukhona witness. But le yokufunda I understand this kahle advocate.
Where qualifications are concerned, as long as you're a witness, as long as you were there when the incident transpired. But as far as education or your academic qualifications are concerned, I don't understand you there, advocate.
No problem, Mr. Madlala. If you have not passed matric, there is no problem. Let's proceed. We'll see.
Mangabe awuphasanga matric asithubeke akunankinga.
Ngawuphasa uthi ngisheshe ngikusho alike class
Thank you.
ngaphinda neliwa.
I did, and I did not fail even one grade.
One.
I did pass my matric, not even one class
And then I
did I have to repeat.
Thank you very much. You know, if you're going to give positive answers like that, we're just going to be very short.
Yabona ke uma ngabe uzophana ke ngeimpendulo ezinjalo ezimfishane kanjalo ke nathi soba bafishane.
You testified, Mr. Madlala, that you were a friend to the deceased. Am I correct?
Usho kanjalo ukuthi ubungumngani kumufi.
Kuyiqiniso lokho.
That is the truth.
And for a long period of
Kade
time.
side ningabangani.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, it is indeed so.
Am I correct to think that you were in good terms with the deceased at the time of his death?
Ngenkathi eshona bensazwana kahle.
Yes, asikaze singazwani nje.
We were never in bad terms or in bad blood before.
Can you describe, okay, sorry, can I just rephrase my word? Would you discuss with the deceased as a friend of the deceased about love relationships one will have, yours and the deceased one?
Njengomngani nomufi benikwazi ukuthi ngingaxoxisana ke naye ngixoxe nje ngendaba zothando.
And about the girlfriends you had, you know, those
girlfriends
sort of
kanjalo.
friendship.
Benixoxa into enjalo.
Yebo, besixoxa.
Yes, we'll discuss such.
Okay. Have you also discussed the nature of the relationship, or did you know the nature of the relationship between the deceased and Ms. Khumalo?
Ubukwazi ke kwakwenzakalani ke okanye ubudlelwano babukhona phakathi komufi no Miss Khumalo. Ngakwazi ukuqaqisa la.
Yeah, bengazi ukuthi baya jola. Ufungayibeka kanjalo bengazi ukuthi baya jola.
Yes, I knew that they were in a love relationship via Jola.
Do you know if they had any problems or if they had encountered any problems?
Ubukwazi ke ukuthi mhlambe bene inkinga nje ingcinama ezazikhona mhlambe elokhunjaneni edlelwaneni babo.
Angeke ngakhuluma ke lo cause ezinye into zenzekile ngaphambilini engafuni futhi mina.
Well, I cannot answer that one. There are certain things that transpired previously that has got nothing to do with me, that I cannot answer.
And you further testified that you came to visit Senzo, the deceased, on
Wow.
the 26th of October when the incident took place.
Wakusho ke ukuthi ubuzovakashela umufi makuzokwenzeka lesi sigameko nge-26 October 2014.
Yebo kunjani.
It is so, yes.
Did you know where the deceased was staying at that time?
Ngaleso sikhathi
When you
ubukwazi
came
ukuthi
to visit him?
mawuzomvakashela kanjalo ngaleso sikhathi ubukwazi ukuthi bebehlala kuphi.
Ya bengazi mangaphosisi mhlawumbe sengivakashe kathathu.
Yes, I knew where he was residing. If I'm not mistaken, I had already visited him about 3 times.
Okay, where had you visited him?
Ubumvakashela kuphi mawuzomvakashela?
Sengisho entweni yakhe ehlangene noKheli la bebehlala khona eMalbatini.
In their affair with Kelly, where they were residing in Malberton.
Ngivakashe endaweni eziningi akahlala kuzona uSenzo. Sengisho la esehlala khona noKheli bekuyiseMalbatini.
Now I had visited Senzo on various residential places. I'm now referring to where he was residing with Kelly, that is in Malberton.
How many times had you visited the deceased in Joburg?
uma sesingasho wamvakashela kangaki.
If you can recall. If you can't recall, there is no harm. Just tell the court you can't recall.
Uma ngabe ke uyakhumbula ukuthi wamvakashela ukuthi bekehlala kuphi nje mawungakhumbuli ukuthi ube nolokho njani uye wamvakashela kangaki.
Ngiyamvakashela eWinchester,
I visited him in Winchester
phinde ngivakashela eBarkley
and Berkeley as well
naseMalberton.
and Malberton as well.
Okay. Where last had you visited him?
Okugcina wamvakashelela kuphi?
Malberton.
Malberton.
For how many times?
Kangaki ke uvakashele Malberton.
I think uyathatha uma nginale futhi.
If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, 3 times.
Okay. So you were acquainted with Miss Kelly Khumalo?
Kanti
Am I correct?
ubumazi ke uKelly Khumalo.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Whose place was it at Malberton?
Bewindawo kabani khona laphana eMalberton?
If you know.
Uma ngabe uyakwazi lokho.
Bengazi ukuthi indawo yasenzo mina.
I knew it to be Senzo's place.
Okay. And it is your evidence that at the hospital, after the incident had taken place, midnight, you did not have a place to sleep. As a result, you went with Miss Kelly Khumalo and Zali to Malberton. Am I correct?
Ngabe ke ngiqinisekile ke or ngiqinisekile uma ngithi oyangiqinisile uma ngithi wena ngalobo busuku ngekhathi sesibedlela mase nisuka esibedlela ubungesenayo ke indawo yokuyolala ngalokho ke wahamba no Miss Kelly Khumalo uya khona eMalberton ngalobo iqiniso lakho.
Not exactly, because ngangihamba nomthoko before ngithanda.
Not exactly. I could have traveled together with Mtogo if it was what I actually wished for.
Yeah, so why did you choose to go with Kelly instead of going with
Yini uye
Mthokozisi?
wakhetha ke ukuthi uhambe noKelly ungahambi noMthokozisi?
Angithi inhloso yami vele bengivakashele lapha ya.
Now, remember initially my intention was to visit that place.
And ngingaqali futhi ukuza khona.
And that was also not the first time visiting that place.
So that's the reason you wanted to spend that night with Kelly.
Kwaba isona sizathu esenza ukuthi wena ufuna ukuqeda ubusuku bakho khona laphayana naye.
Angazi ukuthi ngizophendula ngithini because egcineni nje wangangizela kwakuzobuya kanjani after sekwenzeke lento nama ngisekho futhi.
Now, I don't know how should I answer that one. Since I had come here and the incident transpired, what picture would it cast if I were not to be found after the incident?
And when did you make the statements?
When's lesi statement nini?
Sokuqala.
Is it the first statement? There are many statements that are
The
made.
first statement,
Statement
immediately
of-
after the incident.
Emva ukuthi kwenzakale lesigameko wasenza lesi statement.
Lapho ngizothanda unga because masibuya esibhedlela. Masibuya esibhedlela sila kwenzeka khona lento. Khona nomunye uphoyisa wayebhale ngibuza. So angazi noma kwakuyi statement naleso.
I would be a bit unsure about that because even when we came back from the hospital, and there is one police official that was asking me questions, and he was writing something or she was writing something. So I cannot say as to whether was that now a statement or what.
Okay, did he ask you to sign any document
Wakutshela ukuthi mhlawumbe kube ne-document ethize oyisayinayo
at that time?
ngaleso sikhathi.
No wayengibuza nje ngento enzile abhale phansi but angikhumbuli ngisayini.
I do not remember signing any document. All that he was doing was interviewing me about what transpired there.
So it means you did not sign any statement that night?
Lobo busuku azange usayine statement.
Angeke ngisayini.
That is correct. I never signed.
And from Exhibit V1, you only signed on the following day, which is 27th.
Wasayina nge-27. Kumbuka-ke kuleso statement esithi V1.
Yes, ngiyakhumbula sase police station.
Yes, I remember we were at the police station at Fort Flores.
And from the date of incident up to the time when you made the statement on the following day, you were with Miss Kelly Khumalo, Miss Zandi Khumalo.
Sonke lesikhathi
Correct.
emva kokuthi kwenzakale lesigameko kufika ngalesi sikhathi uzophana lesi statement sakhe emaphoyiseni ubulube unaye uMiss Kelly Khumalo noMiss Zandi Khumalo.
Yabo ngisho kanjalo.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. And obviously you discussed about the shooting incident, which was traumatic to you guys.
Sobala-ke ukuthi nakhuluma ngaleso sigameko sokudutshulwa ngoba-ke wawushadekile okanye non-shadekile.
Not exactly because indlela oyisho ngakho not exactly because kwakuleke kufika abantu so nesimo engangikusona mangakukhela nje iqiniso nokulala ngangisaba ngisho ukuvala amehlo.
Not exactly as to how you are putting it now, because there were instances or intervals of the arrival of other people as well. Even myself, the state I was in, I couldn't even wink a little.
Let's try, Mr. Madlala, to answer what has been asked. If I want to ask about your condition, I will ask that. But for now, my question is, obviously from the time of the incident up to the time when you made the statement, you'll discuss this case. You'll discuss the traumatic incident we've just gone through, because we were sitting down discussing directly or indirectly.
Manje asiphendule lokho ke obuzwa khona. Zama ukuphendula lokho. Kanti ke ukusuka ngalesi sikhathi kwenzakala lesigameko ukufika ke leso sikhathi ke uzophana ngestatement nge-27 October 2014 ubunaye kakhulukazi ubani uKelly naye uZandi Khumalo enibeni lokunixoxa ke ngokuthi ke lesi sigameko saba buhlungu kangakanani sangiphatha kanjani ukuthi mhlambe wamtshela umuntu ngqo okanye wezwa mhlambe bona beloku bekhuluma kodwa ke lento yakhulumeka.
No, isikhathi esiningi advocate nje sorry ukuthi uphendula ngalande isikhathi esiningi Kelly ubeyivalele ekamereni then mase kufika lawo abantu abeza kuyena njengoba ngingachaza ngaphambi kwafika noChiko khona umfana wafika noAkhumuzi babefika nje bebaningi abantu lapha.
What I can say to you, advocate, that Kelly most of the times she would lock herself in the bedroom, and as I've indicated that there are a number of people that would also frequently be arriving there, and the likes of Chico Twala also arrived. One young man also arrived there, Oteno Banu Sipo Akumzi also. Then it was uzophuma ke ababone then aphindele futhi
Ya umuntu wayekhona nje uma wakhe
uzophuma uKelly
aphinda aye ekamereni yakhe aphinda ahlale nalabantu la.
Yes, and then Kelly would come out of the bedroom and entertain those visitors and then go back again into the bedroom.
Okay.
Umama wakhe wenzani?
Uyena phela wayeleke khona nje ngenza ukudla nani because ngangafuna nokudla ngaleso sikhathi.
And her mother was also instrumental in preparing food, you know, because myself during that time
They were feeding you with food.
at that time I did not want food.
Bebengibuza ukuthi ngilamba
They would ask me as to whether am I not hungry.
Oh, okay. So they were offering you. They were doing some favors to you.
Bekwenzela ke ama-favorites.
understand bawusho.
I don't understand you when you
Offering
say that.
food.
Bakupha ukudla kusho okanye
Igama
mhlawumbe.
lika favor ngena kanjani?
Now how do you bring favor into
And
this?
also offering you accommodation.
Bakupha ke nendawo yokuhlala.
Accommodation ngingachazela ukuthi eyakasenzo ngazi ukuthi eyakasenzo.
No.
So ngisasile endaweni yakasenzo.
I have already explained to you that as far as the accommodation is concerned, that is Senzo's place.
And
And I'm still at Senzo's place.
And it is your evidence also in chief that the person who had deposited money for you in order to be able to come to Joburg, it was Miss Kelly Khumalo.
Wakusho ke ebufakazini bakhe bokuqala ukuthi umuntu owadepositela imali kwaba uye uMiss Kelly Khumalo.
Yes, wayengekwazi usenzo because the day babezodlala on Saturday.
Yes, Senzo would not be able to do it because they were going to play on that day.
Don't be long, Mr. Madlala. If
Ungabi
the
long.
answer is yes, just say yes. The
Uma
person who
impendulo ukuthi
deposited
yebo.
money for you to come to Joburg, it was Miss Kelly Khumalo. Yes.
Umuntu owakufakela imali yokuthi uze la eGoli kwaba uMiss Kelly Khumalo kunjalo.
Angazi ngizokuphendula kanjani because mayiqala lento ngifonela usenzo. So ngazi ukuthi yonke le nto iphuma kuyena ukuthi ifaka ubani kanjani angihlangene
I don't know how to answer you on that one because
really sengikushilo.
all these things started with Senzo, you know, being involved in it. I understand that it was Senzo that have arranged that I should come, and as to who actually had the opportunity to go and deposit, that is something that I cannot really understand.
Was it not your evidence during examination in chief that the person who deposited money for you to come to Joburg was Miss Kelly Khumalo?
Akusibona ubufakazi bakho ukuthi umuntu owafaka imali yokuthi wena uze kwaba uKelly Khumalo.
Ngikushilo lokho.
I did say so.
Okay. Are you changing it?
Uyakushintsha
So
lokho.
you're speaking-
ayikho into la engizoyishintsha advocate.
There is nothing that is contained in here which I will change.
So
I
you
will
agree
never
with
change.
me that another offer that was given to you by Ms. Kelly Khumalo is the money that she deposited to you in order to come?
Because I think, with respect, I think counsel is misunderstanding the witness. The witness did say he was in communication with the deceased, and the deceased inquired as to whether he received the money, and the money then reflected, and the deceased then phoned him thereafter. And the witness has said he's been under the impression that it's the deceased who arranged that.
Yes, that's how I understood the evidence.
Thank you, my lord. But the person who did the actual deposit was Kelly.
Whose money was it? That's the point.
The-
Whose money was it, as far as you are concerned?
Eyasenzo.
Kuya ngawe,
Eyasenzo.
kuyi yabanga. It was Senzo's money.
Let's make some progress, please.
Okay, when you arrived inside the house at the Khumalo's homestead now, you testified that you consumed some alcohol. Am I correct? Is
Manifika
that your
lapha
evidence?
kwaKhumalo, uye wafakaza ukuthi nena phuza utshwala wena beniphuza utshwala.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, it is so.
And it is also evidence that you only drank two.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi
Did you say 2 or 3?
waphuza 2 noma 3.
So lesithatha ngathi lalingakapheli ya.
I did not finish the third one.
Okay. I'm going to show you the pictures of the evidence that was recovered by the police at the crime scene. And that evidence was taken into photo albums. And it's the evidence before this court as the only cans that were recovered inside the house.
Ngizokubonisa ke isithombe. Sengcenye zokufakaza ezathola amaphoyisa uma amaphoyisa efika lapha. Kanti ke kwenziwa ke izithombe ngalezo ngcenye zokufakaza.
Yebo.
Yibona kuphela ke ufakazi mayelana ke nokuthi kwathola khona lapha endlini. Yibona ke ufakazi okukhona.
Is it also evidence that all of you were inside the house were consuming alcohol?
Ubufakazi bakho
Or it was
ukuthi
only you?
nonke bensendlini beniphuza utshwala nonke bensendlini.
No, I don't think umntwana angaphuza utshwala. I don't think umakhelwane engaphuzi nabantwana babengaphuzi.
No. I do not think that a child would have consumed liquor, and Mrs. Kelly Khumalo or Mrs. Kelly Khumalo Senior, she also was not drinking liquor.
Okay. Then tell us who were drinking.
Ngoba bephuza utshwala,
It was yourself?
bekuwena,
Zandi,
was myself,
Kelly, Senzo, Mthobo.
myself, Zandi, Kelly, Senzo, and Togo.
Okay. Excluding, except for the mother and the child.
Ngaphandle ke bomama
Ninga,
nengane.
yes.
That is correct.
So the cans that you had consumed will be more than the 2 that are depicted there, am I correct?
Ushuthi ke amakhelwane waphuzile andlule lawa abonakala le.
I mean all of you,
So nina nonke.
out of all the people who were drinking inside the
Nina
house.
nonke ke bemphuza lapha.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so, yes.
So in other words, the amount of cans that are depicted in that picture does not reflect the correct amount of cans you had consumed, all of you inside the house.
Ushuthi ngamanye amazwi lokho kubonakala lapha ke akubonisi ke isithombe esiphelele o esimayelana ke notshwala enaphuza ninonke bonke lobo utshwala.
Yebo uqinisile akubonisi lokho and akubonisi futhi lokho sababu sefridge. Akubonisi futhi ngoba sebulahliwa sebu-empty.
Yes, you're definitely right. It doesn't show even the liquor that was in the fridge, and as well as those that have already been discarded. It doesn't show. You are correct.
Is there anyone who will clean up, remove the empty cans as you were continuing drinking?
Ngabe khona umuntu obeloko esusa ke amakhena empty manje ukuqhubeka nemphuza.
Ngiyacabanga kunjalo because angikaze ahlale la ama-cans phambi kwakho because enza ney'number. I don't think ayizohlala la phambi kwethu kanjani.
I think it was so.
Because nokulandwa futhi ekitchen ayilandwa umuntu sasingabe siyilandela thina ayilandwa umuntu asilethile.
I think it was so. We couldn't just keep the empty cans there. And even going to the kitchen to get the liquor, It wasn't ourselves that would go and fetch the liquor from the kitchen. Somebody was bringing the liquor to us.
Okay, to be specific, did you see anyone removing cans?
Ethi ngisho kanjalo uke wabona umuntu esusa amakheni lapho?
Cha.
No.
Up to the time when you left to the hospital?
Nize nihambe ke niye esibhedlela.
Yebo.
Yes.
And at the time, by the time when you left to the hospital, there is no one who cleaned the floor inside the lounge.
Ukufika leso sikhathi senihamba niye esibhedlela akekho umuntu oke wacleana khona lapha yana phansi
Where you had been sitting before the incident.
ngase lounge. Ngabe niloko nihleli khona phambi kokuthi kwenzakale lesigameko.
Anginayo impendulo yalapho because thina saphuthumisa usenzo. And then ukuthi kwenzakalani after sambile angeke ngakwazi lokho.
I do not have the surety of that because we rushed Senzo to the hospital. As to what happened after we had left, no, I do not have any knowledge of
No,
that.
my question is, before you left to the
Mina
hospital,
umbuzo wami ukuthi andlokuba nihambe niye esibhedlela.
did you see if there is anyone, try to recall, did you see if there is anyone who cleaned the floor?
Kugabe andlokuba
At the
nizohamba niye
lounge.
esibhedlela.
Hayi anginotisanga lokho.
I did not notice that.
Okay. You furthermore, when you were during cross-examination by one of the defense counsel, you said how possible that Ngashe would have chased, followed the suspect. What is it that they were carrying? Do you remember that answer that you
Uyakhumbula
gave?
ukuthi
Yeah.
bebephethe ini ongqashe mabagijimisa. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, just correct me if I'm putting it the other
Uma
way
ngabe
around.
mhlawumbe ngiyibeke kahle ke ukwazi ukuqondisa. Yes, yes.
You remember that?
Uyakhumbula lokho?
Yes, ngiyakhumbula.
Yes, I remember that.
So in other words, you were saying how would Ngashes be able to trace an armed person when they were not armed? Am I
Ngamanye
correct?
amazwi lokho bokusho ukuthi bebengagijimisa kanjani umuntu ophethe isikhali kuyena kodwa bona bengaphethe isikhali. Yilokho mhlawumbe uqondo kusho.
Ngibuza ukuthi babephetheni.
I only asked what were they in possession of.
Why did you ask that question?
Yingani uyowabuza lo mbuzo?
Ngibuzisa ukuthi kunzima ukuthi ungajaha umuntu ophethe isibhamu. Ungaphethe lutho.
I'm asking that question because it is difficult for you to chase a person who is in possession of the firearm and you are not even in possession of any weapon.
If it's difficult for a person to chase someone who is armed, and when that person is not armed, how come Longwe Twala was able to push an armed person and run away?
Manje ke uyakusho lokho ukuthi kunzima ukuthi umuntu angagijimisa umuntu ophethe isibhamu yena engaphethe lutho kuyena. Kuze kanjani ke ukuthi uLongwe Twala aphushe lo muntu bephethe isibhamu kodwa kungukuthi uLongwe Twala yena ubengaphethe isikhali kuyena.
And also secondly, before you answer, just hang in there if the court allows me. How come also the people who were not armed inside the house were able to attack the alleged intruder having a fire?
Manje nabo labo bantu abangasendlini abebengaphethe lutho kuze kanjani ukuthi ke bona bayeke bahlasele umuntu okanye baphushe umuntu ephethe isikhali bona ukuthi bengaphethe lutho.
Yebo ngiyabuza ke siqale ngalokho kwalongo nje.
Yes, I hear you. Let's
Lokho
start.
kwalongo ngifana nawe nami advocate. Nami ngisazibuza la namhlanje
Well,
ukuthi wayenza kanjani leyo nto. Ngiyafana nawe nami.
I'm just like you on that one. As to how he did it, I'm still asking myself that question. How did Longwe do that?
But it's impossible for a person who is not armed to push someone who is armed, approach and push someone who is armed.
Akukhonakala ukuthi umuntu ongaphethe lutho kuyena aphushe umuntu ophethe isikhali kuyena.
Ngiyajabulela ke lo part ngoba lo mndaka kashona usakhona. Kufanele eze la azophendula yonke into ukuthi wayenza kanjani yena.
You see, I like that part because the person to whom this refers is still alive. He's not dead. He can come and answer for himself.
Don't worry about that person. He's coming. I'm asking now, it's your turn to answer your question. You had said
isikhathi sakho ithuba lakho ukuthi wena ukwazi ukuphendulayo.
You had said-
Ukuphendulela yena.
I can-
Angikwazi mawuthi umphusha kanjani but mawusuthi futhi liyeza ithuba lakhe wena impela fa ubuze yena hayi uDumile.
No, I cannot answer for him. I cannot answer for him. If you ask me how was he able to push him, and yet you are asking that to me, you should ask that to him and not to Tumelo.
I'm asking from what we have said in this court.
Ngikubuza nginguye kuloko okukhulumile la enkantolo wena.
And I'm asking your understanding to what we have said to this court to say it would have been difficult for Ngashe to follow and chase armed suspects. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Lokho wena okushilo ukuthi kuyoba nzima ukuthi unqashe agijimisa okanye onqashe bagijimisa kanjani ke abantu abaphethe ikhali bona bengaphethe.
So in other words, I am saying it would also have been difficult for Longwe to approach an armed person,
Ngalowo
same as Ngashe's.
wona lowo mqondo bese ngizalana ke kulongwe ngithi nakulongwe ke bekuzoba nzima ukuthi azophusha umuntu ophethe isikhali kuyena kungukuthi yena ke bengaphethe lutho.
100% right.
You
Aphinde
are
awukhona
100%
okwesibili.
right.
So, as a court prisoner, the witness says it happened, as to, now, why should he now cast his mind back and say it would have been difficult? I don't think it's a fair question. Maybe my learned friend can leave it for argument.
Thank you, my lord. If my learned friend is giving the answer on behalf of the witness, I take it, my lord, and I accept it. It's more clear. It's more clear now. The answer is clear. That's what I wanted. Thank you, my lord.
Kanti anginayo inkinga ukuphendula advocate. Ngirelaxe kakhulu ukuyazi nesikhathi sonke anginayo inkinga. Ngingafuna wathi ngiyaphenke ngivele ngithule la ngoma but ngiyakwazi ukuziphendulela.
If you knew, I'm so well relaxed. I'm able to answer for myself.
But
Even
into
myself, I
engayicela
can answer.
ka-advocate.
Mr. Madlala?
Angangibuzi kakhulu ngey'statements zabantu.
Mr. Madlala?
Uzobuza ama-questions.
Mr. Madlala?
Yes.
Please behave yourself.
Are we
Behave yourself.
Ngokunjalo nawe advocate.
Mr.
Even yourself,
Baloyi
advocate.
is representing the state. He has raised an objection to the court. We are dealing with the objection, which we have nothing to say about it.
Yabona ke obabaloyi khona nje ukhathazeka ukuthize akuphakamisile okanye isiphakamiso asilethela enkantolo ke okwamanje sibhekene leso siphakamiso esiqhamuka ngapha ke ubabaloyi ke
Ngiyakuzwa
Do you understand that? Yes.
ngiyakuzwa lokho.
Yes.
But hayi ukuthi mhlambe ngiyaphendulela. Mina ngeke ukuziphendulela. Ngiyaziphendulela mina advocate.
It's not that I cannot answer for myself.
Yes.
I can answer for myself. Just relax, advocate.
If there is an objection, Mr. Madlala, you wait and you keep quiet.
Yabona uma ngabe khona ukuthize okukhathaza omnye wa abameli lana wena uthukulinda kancane ukuze inkantolo ikwazi ukuqhubekisa ke yazakala wena ke awukhuluma.
Yes. Until I ask you question, then you will then answer.
Ukufikela ke leso sikhathi ke ngikubuza umbuzo kanye ubuzwa imibuzo kulapho ke uzokwazi ukuthi wena uphendule. Yazakala?
Yes, Mr. Zoe.
Next question.
I just want to point out that his evidence that is on record, my lord. No one is answering on his behalf. That's his evidence that is on record.
Okay.
No problem, my lord. I will argue at the end of the state of the case, my lord. Can I just proceed, my lord?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's now get inside the house, Mr. Madlala. Please listen carefully.
Lalela kahle ke bamadlala. Singena endlini ke manje.
And think before you answer, Mr. Madlala.
Qabange angoba uzophendula.
I know this thing took place.
Ngitshela ukuthi angicabange before ngiphendule. Angithi wena uyabuza ngiyaphendula. So
Mshololo,
manje
why-
ngiphendule kanjani?
Sorry, hello.
Out.
Why do you want to argue with the witness? He must think before he answers. He's been answering, how many days have you been on the box?
Nensuku engakho
Kulo
lokuzalana.
mina
He's been here for about 3-4 days.
Yes.
He must have been
About
thinking
3
at some stage, please. Just respect the witness also.
straight.
Yeah,
As the
let her
court
respect me.
As the court pleases. Can you just try to recall at the time of the shooting incident now
Ngaleso
inside the
sikhathi
house.
kwenzeka leso
You
sikhathi
understand?
ukudubula endlini ne?
Yes.
Yes.
It is your evidence that after the first gunshot was fired, you ran away.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi emva kokuthi isibhamu sichume kokuqala wasuyabaleka.
Yebo kunjani?
Yes, it is so.
Did you see if there is anyone who also ran out of the spot where the shot was fired? Be it in the kitchen passage where the shot was fired. Do you recall if there is anyone else who ran out of that space?
Yabona
Other
lesi
than
space,
you.
Bona la bekwenzakala khona ke lento ukuthi uxhume isibhamu uyabaleka wena. Uye wabona ukuthi khona omunye wabaleka mhlambe ukusuka ekitchen uyabaleka usuka edining room uyabaleka khona lapha epassage. Kodwa ke oke wabaleka nje.
No, akekho ongambona ukuthi wabaleka washona kuphi. Akekho.
No, there isn't any person that had witnessed running and they fled to where that I did not witness.
Okay. You did not see Zandi running into the bathroom?
Azange ubone uZandi ebalekela ngase bathroom.
Akekho engambona washona ngakuphi even wasanje wangithi agcina na kitchen kodwa mase ngiphuma sese edining.
There's no
Okay,
one
no.
that I had witnessed that they ran to where, even Senzo himself. Only when I came out of the bedroom, I found him lying on the floor.
Okay, but in this case, I'm just being specific, Mr. Madlala. If you did see Zandi running into the bathroom,
Yabona lana ke sesikhuluma ke ngendlela eyikhethile sibuza ngomuntu okuwuZandi. Uye wambona yini uZandi egijima ebaleka?
Angazi noma mina ngirong yini la because mangithi akekho engambona. Manje masuthi angichaze futhi alokiti angikandastand ukuthi
I don't know whether
akekho ngambona into ayaphi.
Am I the person that is having a problem here? If I say that there isn't a person that I saw running and ending up to where, I don't know.
no, I was trying to be specific to say I'm not asking generally about other person now. I was being specific to say Zandi.
Yilokho engikusho ukuthi manje sengikhuluma ngoZandi ngamanye amazwi. Uye wambona uZandi egijima ebaleka.
Akekho umuntu engambona into ayaphi bantu ababesendlini.
There isn't any person that I had seen running and ending to whatever point
Okay.
of the people that were inside of the house.
Before the shot was fired, did you see Miss Kelly Khumalo running away of the lounge area?
Angokuba ke isibhamu sichume. Uye wambona ulokho njani uMiss Kelly Khumalo ebaleka esuka ngase launch.
Cha.
No, I did not.
Okay. Now let's come in now to the alleged first intruder.
Asise kulona ke ulalele sesiza kulowo qala owangena okanye umngeneleli qala.
Yebo.
Yes.
Is it your evidence that he was wearing a hat?
Uthi ufakazi bakho ukuthi ubegqoke isigqoko.
Yebo
Am I
kunjani?
correct?
Yebo.
That is correct.
Okay. Can you describe that hat for me, just for me? The hat that you saw,
Ungakwazi ke ukuthi unginikeze nje isithombe.
worn by the
Umfanekiso
first
waleso
intruder.
waleso sigqoko ukuthi sasibukeka kanjani leso sigqoko.
Lesisikotshi esincane, isincane isikotshi.
It was a fine check
And kuyisigqoko.
pattern on it.
Yabo le gqoko mosibamba la ngathi sibaqama mosibamba la le gqoko ezibanjwa. Lezi ngathi siqinile akusizo lezi ezithambile. Angazi uzichazela kanjani.
This is a hat.
Akusizo lezi endwangu ezithambile lezi. Okwazi ukusifonyoza sifonyoze yabo.
It wasn't one of those softer pinch or crown. It was a harder pinch and crown. Not just that, the lighter and softer ones on touch.
So in other words, you can't give any significant description of that hat, other than giving the explanation, the description that it was a small scotch with a brim, as you are saying.
The witness spoke about the pinch and the crown and not the brim.
Other than that, you can't give any significant.
ngaphandle kwalokho
features of that hat.
kwisikotshi nokuthi ke lesesicimile lokho kushilo okunye akukho okunye ungakhuluma ngakho.
Angicabanga ukuthi sikhona la ikhodi lena sethombeni singavezwa makuthi ufuna ukusibona.
I think that picture is within the records here, or it is within the files in this honorable court, and perhaps we can refer to that if the advocate would want to see it.
No, don't worry about the picture. I just wanted to see if you are able to give a full description of that hat.
Umfanekiso esinawo la kulama file wasecourt. Ngifuna nje okuqhamuka kuwe ukuthi uyakwazi yini ukuphana ngencazelo yaso sona leso sigqoko. Yes, yes.
Did you have, or were you wearing any hat at that particular time, you yourself, at the time of the shooting?
Ubufaka isigqoko wena? No.
Correct me, Emma, if I'm wrong. You said at the time of the shooting incident, at the time when the first shot was fired, the second intruder was leaning against the door facing the house. Am I correct?
Makuzoxhuma ke isibhamu oqala. Uthi lona umngeneleli wesibili ube ncike nje ngomnyango ebheke ngasekitchen okanye ngaphakathi endlini. Sho njalo.
Mawungena ngomnyango beka right. Ngomnyango ebeface engaphakathi endlini.
Yes, when you get into the house, he was just on the right-hand side of the door, and yes, he was facing the house.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to confirm. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Did you see who fired that first shot?
Uye wabona ukuthi ubani owaqhubisa ke isibhamu oqala?
Cha ngibonanga.
I did not see that.
And immediately you became deaf and you ran away.
Manje ngaleso sikhathi kwavaleka amadlebe wasuyabaleka.
Yebo kunjalo.
Yes, it is indeed so.
Okay. How many people did you leave inside that area? Was it Miss Kelly Khumalo, Khumalo Zandi, am I correct?
Abawungakho abantu abashiya wena mubaleka. Kelly Khumalo, uZandi Khumalo, Khumalo,
Senzo
and Senzo,
nabantu boyithu.
and those two intruders.
Okay, do you recall if Mtogozis was still there? Or he had ran out also
Uyakhumbula ukuthi
after
ngaleso
the
sikhathi
first shot was fired?
uyakhumbula ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi ke umthoko yena ube khona khona lapho kulabo bantu emva kokuthi iqhuma isibhamu kokuqala. Uyakhumbula?
Engikwazi ukuthi umuntu wasuma late angisakhumbuli kodwa ukuthi wayekupha kodwa uyena umuntu wasuma ukugcina edanini because mangisukuma nami wayesasakhona umuntu kula edanini.
Now, what I can recall is that he was the last person to have stood up, because at the time that I stood up, Mtogo was still in the dining or the lounge area.
Okay,
That
no,
is what I can recall.
I'm asking now, after the first shot was fired, did you see Mtogo running out of the house
Ngithi ever
or running into the bedroom?
Siqhume isibhamu kokuqala. Uke wambona uMthogo mhlambe baleka ephuma endlini okanye eya bedroom. Uke wambona nje baleka uMthogo.
No angibonanga.
Okay.
No, I did not see him.
But wayesengaphakathi kuqhumiswa manje ngaphuma endlini.
At the time of the gun going off, he was still inside of the house. That
Okay.
I am sure.
After you had ran into the bedroom now, did you hear any shots being fired?
Emva kokuthi ugijimele ngase bedroom wena, uye wezwa isibhamu siqhuma futhi.
Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi isibhamu masiqhuma ukuqala kwaba nomsindo wenzeke emadlebeni nami. Plus nginovalo okunye nokunye ngingasana ngase ngifuna ukuphuma ngaphandle la ngoba ngazi ngaye ewindini. Ngithi ngifuna ukuphuma ngingathi namabhaki.
As I've already indicated that after the gun went off for the first time, my ears were deafened, and also I was frightened during that time. And there is the ringing sound that I heard in my ears, and all that I needed to, relieve myself from is that area. I wanted to exit the house. It is for that reason that I went into the bedroom, ran into the bedroom, and I wanted to exit the house through the window. That is when I realized that there were the burglar guards on the window.
Okay, so will I be understanding you correct to say you did not hear any subsequent shot gun being fired.
ngabe ngizobe ngiqinisileke mangithi azange uphinde uzwe isibhamu siphinde sikhale futhi.
Yes, ungasho kanjalo.
Yes,
Okay.
you can say
And
so.
also, when the shot was fired inside the lounge passage, wherever that was shot, that whatever the place it is, you did not see who shot the deceased.
Uma ke isibhamu sichuma khona laphana kwi-lounge okanye khona lapha epassage, wena ke awuzange ubone ukuthi ngubani owadubula umufi.
Yebo ngibona ngabe kade ngamkhomba.
Yes, I didn't see who shot at the deceased. I would have pointed that person out.
Umuntu wangena nesibhamu lo Madrid.
Now, the person, however, that came in with the firearm is the one that was having dreadlocks.
Yes.
And the deceased was shot when there was Miss Kelly Khumalo, there was Zandi, there was Khumalo.
Umufi wadutshulwa ngekhathi kukhona uKelly Khumalo, uZandi, no Mam Khumalo.
Angeke akuqhubeka ubalo kaqedwe ubani.
No, you
Abantu abambalwa
you can continue to list people. Why do you just only list a few people?
Naye lo mfethu wayekhona ekhishini maqhuma isibhamu nobhulu
You are not allowed
And
to do
this,
that.
and this brother of mine, he was also there at the time the firearm went off.
I'm asking you a question. I am saying when the deceased was shot, there was Miss Khumalo, there was Miss Sandy Khumalo, there was Miss Kelly Khumalo. That's the question that I'm asking to you. Nothing else.
Kwakhona ke uMam Khumalo Miss Kelly Khumalo no Miss Zandi Khumalo ngenkathi umufi edutshulwa.
ufuna ungiphendulisa into engeke phela ngeke ngiphendule umbuzo onjalo because obviously nje lobuza khona ngathi une-answer imina engi-answer lo so masubalo ngathi bukhona uyangididisa.
Now you are confusing me. You want me to answer the way that you want me to answer.
Let's move
And
on.
I'm the one that is
I
I am the one that is giving you the answers. Now you're speaking as though you were there also to witness this.
Let's move
No,
on, Mr.
advocate, no.
Let's move on, Ms.
ukuthi wakhona
Madlala.
bani then ngiphendule
Ask me who all was there. Let me answer you.
because mina ebengiyisendlini.
Because I'm the one that was in there.
I've passed that question. Can I ask another question?
Ngabuza omunye umbuzo.
Okay.
You are free.
Mr. Ngasha's evidence is that he saw a person against the window who was wearing a white t-shirt when the scuffle took place. You
Usho
understand
njalo
that?
unqashe usho njalo ukuthi uye wabona umuntu weskipe esimhlophe ngekhathi kwenzakala lento.
And,
Yes, I understand.
and it is your evidence that the person who was wearing a white t-shirt inside the house was the deceased only.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi umuntu befake iskipe esimhlophe ngasendlini umufi phela.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it correct, Mr. Madlala, that at the time when you looked at the person whom you have identified as the first suspect and the second suspect, you had consumed alcohol and you were frightened at that time after seeing the firearm being produced by the first so alleged intruder?
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi lo muntu wangena kuqala lapha endlini ephethe isibhamu ubusuphuzile utshwala futhi ke ubuthukile ngenxa ukuthi ubone uphethe isibhamu lo muntu njengoba engena ke lo kuqala.
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
Yes, I can hear that.
And it is also evidence, Mr. Madlala, that the incident happened so fast.
Ngabe ubufakazi bakho ukuthi leso sigameko senzeka ngokushesha.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Will you agree with me that you did not have sorry, madam, can I just rephrase that question? You said it's your evidence that the first intruder, demanded the cell phone and money in Zulu language.
Usho kanjani ukuthi lo umngeneli wokuqala wafika endlini wazofuna imali nama cell phone ekhuluma isiZulu. Usho kanjani?
100% right.
100% right.
Did he say anything else other than demanding cell phone and
ngabe
money?
khona okunye okuthize akhuluma ngaphandle kokuthi afune ama-cellphone nemali?
Hayi ngabe ngiyamsukela akukho okunye kukhuluma.
No, there isn't any other thing that I would be wrongly implicating him.
He never said futsek.
Azange athi futhi,
Angizwanga ngisho njalo.
I didn't hear him say that.
But kwamafoni imali khona engabuzi.
But as far as phones and money, there's something that I heard to that effect.
Okay. At what stage, if you know, did Longwe Twala come back at any stage? Back to the house?
Uma ngabe uyazi, uLongwe Twala waphindela futhi endlini nini?
Hey, mina ngimbonanga lo ngithala. Angifuni noma mhlawumbe ngoba but angibonanga even nasesibhedlela ngibonanga.
No, I did not see Longwe
But
Twala.
angiyisho lokuthi akazi but mina ngimbonanga.
I am not saying that he did not return. Even at the hospital, I didn't see him.
Outside, when you were carrying the deceased to the house, did you see his car outside the premises?
Mase sengaphandle ke niqhubulele noma ukufika emsemotweni. Uye wambona wabona imoto yakhe.
Angiyibonanga and imoto phela bekufika kube yasenzo ngaphambili kube yakhe ngemuva eyayirepolerire. So mase kuthatha usenze yahlehla le. But angizange mase siphuma nje ayingekho imoto yakhe la around la iginga segate.
Mankhulu.
Yeah, mase siphuma sambe usenze ayingekho. Angiyibonanga.
Okay. At the time that we were now driving or taking Senzo to the hospital, I didn't see his vehicle. His vehicle would be parked behind Senzo's vehicle, and that was a red Polo. But at the time that we were now driving or transporting Senzo, I did not see that vehicle.
Then obviously you wouldn't know where he had ran into.
Futhi ngiyakwazi ukuthi wabalekela kuphi.
Yebo kunjani.
It is indeed so.
Did you see Mr. Chico Twala at the hospital?
Ubaba uChico Twala wambona esibhedlela yena?
Ngikaze ngibone.
I did not see him at the hospital.
Let's go back and okay, sorry my lord, can I just rephrase? Do you know what happened to the deceased cell phone during the robbery incident?
Uyakwazi ukuthi kwenzakalani nge-cellphone kamufi ngenkathi ke kuphangwa khona lapha endlini?
Engabe ngidlala ngawo advocate engakuzwa nje ukuthi itholakala ngaphansi kwamakhabethe ekitchen.
Then I would you know, I would be lying to you. All I know is that it was found somewhere under the cabinet, the kitchen cabinets.
Okay, but also do you know who kept the deceased cell phone from the incident and on the following day subsequent to the incident?
Nokuthi uyakwazi ukuthi ngubani umuntu obephethe i-cellphone kamufi ukusuka ngalolo suku lesigameko ufika ngakulela langa elilandelayo.
Obviously ngabo yena okay because wena mawangani yakhe I don't think ngaphathi umuntu.
Obviously, it would be Miss Khumalo because she is the mother of his child. I do not think that it could have been in possession of any other person.
Oh, okay, so it would have been with Ms. Khumalo, Kelly Khumalo.
Yes.
Yes.
Just to go back a little bit, I left one question, sorry my lord. Inside the shooting incident, is it your evidence that you also attacked the suspect or you did not attack the suspect?
Ubufakazi bakho ke ilobo khona lapha makudubuleka. Now uyasho ukuthi wamhlasela kanje wamlwisa lo
Let me clarify the first one.
kakhulukazi lo wokuqala.
Yes ngasukuma kona even ngingamshayanga. Ngasukuma kona but ngaya kwebalance ngimshaya.
Yes, I also stood up even though I did not assault him. But I stood up. Why are we?
Yes.
I stood up and accosted him, even though I did not assault him.
Was there a stage where you and Ms. Zandi Khumalo assaulted or attacked the second intruder?
Khona isikhathi la uZandi Khumalo bashaya lo wesibili.
Zandi and Mr. Madlala.
O wena no Zandi nayo shaya lo wesibili.
Angikhumbula umuntu wesibili nje ngikhumbula kuyimi nosenzo ayekena ngikhumbula nje umuntu.
The second person that I remember it was myself. It was Senzo. It was myself and Senzo that were against the second.
Do you remember if the second intruder was in possession of any weapon?
Uyakhumbula ukuthi lona wesibili ubephethe isikhathi yana namakha?
Angibonanga ukuthi wayephetheni.
I did not notice what he was in possession of.
ngabona nje usenze nimbambele isandla ngezandla zombili isandla saka-right.
I saw Senzo grabbing his upper arm, his right upper arm, with both of his hands.
Okay, but in that upper arm that you saw, you did not see any weapon.
Ya ngibona
Azange ubone his card.
Yeah,
Yes,
ngibona.
I did not.
Okay, and also on the other hand, you did not see any weapon.
yes.
Nakulesi esinye isandla. Yes.
So in other words, that person was not armed.
Ngamanye amazwi lowo muntu ke ubengaphethe isikali kuyena.
Angishongo kanjani
I
ngithe
did not see.
angibonanga.
I said that personally I did not see him in possession of the firearm. Oh, sorry, of the weapon, sorry.
No, it's fine, no problem, Mr. Madlala. Let's move on. And you also again testified that you were able to identify the second person
Yes.
who was leaning against the wall.
Kwazile ukumkhomba lo wesibili. Yes,
Yebo kunjani.
it is indeed so.
Can you tell this court about any distinctive features that you saw of this person?
Akutshela inkantolo ke impawu nje ezazikhethile ngalomlisa ombonile.
I know his head was covered because he had a hoodie.
Yeah, engikwaziyo ukuthi ikhanda lakhe lona ke lalemboziwe ngoba ke ubefake ihood.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyachaza lo bizolo ngisazokuchaza futhi namhlanje.
I think I did explain that yesterday and I am still going to explain that today.
Okay.
Ukuthi mude wayedake enentshebe eround nala.
That he was
Khathi
tall,
nentshebe yakhe.
Yeah.
Right around bese iba nelokhuzana nala.
that he was tall, darker in complexion, and that he had a round beard that was trimmed around the mouth to the chin as well, and that there was a little beard just underneath the lower lip.
So the description we have given right now, it means those are the description that you can only find from that person. No one else can have those features. Yes.
Lezo impawu yizo zodwa ke okwazile wena ukuthi uyibone uze uphane ngencazelo yazo.
In other words, I'm sorry, Malord, can you just unpack?
Yes.
Thank you, Malord. In other words, the description that we have given, there is no other person who could have had such description other than the second intruder.
Ngamanye amazwi ke lezo impawu uphane ngazo impawu efanele lo mngeneli wesibili phela akekho omunye ongafanelwe lezo impawu wena ophane ngazo.
There's no possibility.
Akukhonakala.
Ayi angazi ukuthi ngizophendula kanjani mina ngijabule kabi ngoba ngikwazile ukuphinde ngimbone kanje.
I don't know how am I going
Ngibona ke
to
vele
accept that.
kwangijabulisa kakhulu ukumbona kanje la ecourt.
I am so happy that I was able to see him again because when I saw him in court, I was able to see that this is the very person.
I understand that, Mr. Madlala. You know what, Mr. Madlala, the reason why I'm asking the distinctive features of this person, it's because the person can be mistaken with identity for now and in 20 years and in 100 years. You understand?
Yabona ngikuza kanjena ngoba phela ke umuntu ngaze nje ahlangahlanganiswe nomunye uyabona la manje masikhuluma ngayo kunje emva kwe 20 years 100 years kukhona nje lento ukuthi ungaze udideke ukuthi ukhomba umuntu okungeyena obufanele ukuthi umkhomba.
Do you understand?
Awuqinisela ukuthi kungenzeka lokho.
Yes.
But amehlo wami ke manje hayi ngeke wadide ngiyambona kahle impela.
Yes, it
And
is
now
true.
uyazi.
It is true what you're saying.
Ngimbona kahle impela.
However, right now, you cannot confuse my eyes.
Engisukele ngani umuntu.
I can see him right now. I see him, and even he himself knows that.
Yes.
I cannot wrongly implicate another person.
Okay. So can you now answer my question to say, is there a possibility that someone else could have the same features, could cut or trim the beard as you have explained?
Ungavumela nami ukuthi kukhona umunye umuntu ongakwazi naye ke ukuthi akhathe amatekno leyo ndlela njengoba uye waphana ngomfanekiso wakho.
Yes, kungaba njalo.
Yes, it may be possible.
Kungaba njalo.
It may be possible.
After the shooting incident, Mr. Madlala, did you have your cell phone with you?
Emva kokuthi kube nalesi sigameko sokudutshulwa, ubune cellphone yakho?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you call the police?
Uye wafonela amaphoyisa?
Angikaze ngiwafonele. Empilweni yami nje angaze ngifonele iphoyisa.
I've never phone called the police, and in my entire life I've never phone called the police.
Okay. Just to report the incident that your friend has been shot.
Ukusho nje ukuthi umngani wami usedutshuliwe.
Okwafika kuqala lethwa ngafonela ubhuti wakhe.
What came first?
Ngaphinde ngafonela nomuntu angithandana ngaso sikhathi ngafonela abantu basekhaya. So lokho kumina ngikwakusho something nje.
Now, what came first was for me to phone call his brother.
Yes.
I subsequently phone called the person that I was in a love relationship with and my family members at home.
I'm still coming there, Mr. Madlala. But here, for now, I'm saying, did you call the police to report the incident that my friend has been shot here? Yes or no? If you did not, just say no, you did not. And there is no harm.
Uma ngabe azange kwenze lokho, yisho nje ukuthi azange kwenze lokho. Akukho ku.
Ngiyanguzwa advocate akukho vele okubi kuloko akekho iphutha because umuntu omekuleyo situation angeke ucabange straight ukuthi hayi awuthi ngithi manje ngifunele lo usukuthukile nawo ufonela lo ufika kuqala emqondweni wakhe.
Yes,
so angizange wafonela amaphoyisa.
I understand, advocate. There isn't any error that one would have committed there. Because when a person is under such a circumstance, you are under shock as well. You cannot, in a relaxed manner, say that now I'm going to phone call this one. Yes, I agree with you on that one. I did not phone call.
And the ambulance?
The ambulance, you're not why Bisha, why phone number?
Angiyazi nani number yayo. Angiyazi nani number yayo.
And no, I don't even know the ambulance number.
The family, I understand that the deceased was a friend to you.
Yes. Yes.
Did you know his family?
Yes, I know his family.
Did you have the number of any of the deceased relatives?
Cell phone number, number.
Advocate uyangididisa manje. Uqeda kumtshela manje ngingafonela umfowabo Senzo Sifiso.
You're confusing.
Ungibuyisele emuva manje.
You are confusing me now, advocate. I've just said that I phone called his brother's Fiso.
Okay, so
Now
if
you're taking me back now.
I did not hear that. That's why I'm asking. Did you have that number?
Ubunayo leyo number yakhe?
Yebo benginayo.
Yes, I had his number.
The parents, did you have the number for the parents for your friend?
Cha bengenayo.
I did not have the numbers for the deceased parents.
And what is the number of the deceased family relative that you, what is the name of the deceased relative that you call?
Lo umndeni kaMufi.
Sifiso Stanley Meyiwa.
It was Sifiso Stanley Meyiwa. Sifiso Stanley Meyiwa.
Okay. At what time did you call him?
One for Nambani.
Or maybe at what stage, even if it can. There is a letter, my lord, in terms of Exhibit Q, from the Director of Public Prosecutions in Gauteng, referring to the forced Laura's case 375/1 of 2019. That letter confirms the docket that was opened against you, as well as all other people who were inside the house. This docket, this letter confirms that, and also in paragraph 3, of this letter, I'm going to read that paragraph 3. You can also have a look at that paragraph if you can be able to see paragraph 3.
Yeah.
Okay, but I will also read it. It says, in light of the fact that decisions in Foslorus Case 375/1/2019 depends on the credibility findings by the trial court in the current trial involving Foslorus Case 636/10/2014, I have therefore decided that the decision in Foslorus Case 375/1/2019 will be made at the conclusion of the concurrent trial.
manje uyabona lokho ukuthi uma sesibheke le qiniso lokuthi kukhona nje isinqumo kwafanele ukuthi sithathwe khona lapha mayelana nale case leyana yase-Foslorus Case 375/1/2019. Kanti-ke leso sinqumo silile ekutheni le nkantolo lena esebhizi ngayo okwamanje ukuthi ifinyelela ziphi iy'nqumo mayelana-ke naleli cala elimayelana-ke neCAS 636/10/2014. Ngaleyo ndlela-ke ngithathe isinqumo sokuthi le case leyana-ke iCAS number 375/1/2019 izokwazi-ke ukuthi kuthathwe isinqumo ngayo mayelana-ke naleli cala eliculwa manje.
Ngisakwazi ukulinda ukuthi ifike leyo docket. Sengijahile.
Now, I cannot wait for that particular docket.
Okay, but you understand what is said there.
Uyakuzwa lokho khulumekayo lapho. Yes.
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
In other words, it says the Director of Public Prosecution has not declined to prosecute to prosecute you in particular yet, is still waiting.
Manje amanye amazwi ulindile, usalindile nje lo okuyena umqondisi obushushisi, kanti-ke akakucekeli phansi lokho ukuthi ashushise ukuthi uzoshushiswa-ke nawe. Uma eshushisa uyashushiswa nawe. Uyakuzwa lokho?
Ngikuzwa kahle kamhlophe lokho.
I hear
Ngilinde
it
khona.
quite clearly. I'm waiting for that.
Okay. Mr. Madlala, how long did it take you, all of you inside the house, how long did it take you to take the deceased after the shooting incident to the hospital?
Kunithatha isikhathi esingakanani? Nina nonke nanisendlini ukuthi nithathe umufi nimse elokhunjaneni esibhedlela emva kokuthi kwenzakala leso sigameko sokudutshulwa endlini.
Kulokho ngangekho esimeni sokuthi ngabheka isikhathi sokuthi kuthatha isikhathi singakanani because mangakhumbuza kahle ngoba sithi makukhuluma isibhamu ngabaleka ngayikamereni bengakabona nokuthi uSenzo wasedubulekile ngaleso sikhathi.
Where that is concerned, I was not in the position to can observe or monitor the time, as I've already explained that when that incident happened of the gun going off, I ran to the bedroom.
Kodwa akubanga futhi isikhathi eside mhlambe phela isikhathi eside ngathi khona umuntu onganakile akubanga isikhathi eside.
It wasn't long though, as though there was nobody at all that was aware of what was happening. It didn't take long.
Sorry, my God, may the court just bear with me, Lord. There is a death declaration by the nurse who attended to the deceased in hospital. I'm just going to read into the record what is recorded under the paragraph of assessment is statement number A7, Mr. Malone, A7. But I'll just read the entry as is, my lord, into the record.
Khona ke unesi owamemezela ke ukushona kaSenzo. Yena ke unesi obebeke naye uSenzo. Manje ngizozama ke ukuthi ngifunde khona lapha yana.
Okay.
Understood.
This witness says, at arrival, the victim was not breathing, had no pulse from the car. The people were fully dilated and not reaching the light. Do you understand that?
Manje lo fakazi uthi ke lo umufi uthi umufi ubengaphefumuli. Is it at the arrival at the hospital?
At arrival. At arrival. In that paragraph, it's not
Yes, I
numbered,
can
but
see
it's
that. I can see
assessment,
that.
under assessment.
Yes. Uthi ke uma
Yeah, it's
efi
depicted there also on this screen.
can see that. Thank you very much. Uma kufikwa ke lona ke isizulu ubengaphefumuli inhliziyo ibingashayi okanye iphansi uma eqhamuka khona laphana emotweni kanti ke amehlo wakhe lokhu inhlavu zamehlo bezinkulu nje kanti ke ubengakwazi ke ukubonisa ukuthi i-light mabashayinisa i-light emehlweni uyakwazi ukureacta kulokho uyakubona uyakuzwa lokho. Yes, I hear that.
Yeah. So in other words, it means this person arrived very late in hospital.
How can you say this?
My lord, can I just rephrase? Do you see the condition of the deceased when he arrived in hospital?
Uyabona ukuthi ube sesimeni esinjani makafika laphana esibhedlela umufi.
Ngiyakuzwa lokho nje bokusho.
I hear as you are actually saying it.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Uyabona. Yes, I heard.
So the statement is correct.
Ukubonile lokho. Sorry, I think he didn't hear you. Ukubonile lokho.
That he couldn't,
Ukuthi zonke lezi zinto lezimpawu lezi bezingekho.
had no pulse.
Lokho kwazile ukubona okanye ukuqaphela.
Ngangekho isimeni sokuqaphela lezo zinto. Into engangijani ngangifuna yenzeke ukuthi bangakwazi ukumsiza. Yonke eyibalekile lokho.
I was not necessarily after those vital signs. All that I was concerned of was, but will they be able to assist him?
When you came back to the house from the hospital, you said there is a police officer who conducted interview with you. Is that correct?
Uthi ke uma niqhamuka libuya khona esibhedlela khona ke iphoyisa elaloko libuza imibuzo. Akunjalo?
Yebo kunjani?
It is indeed so.
Was there any prime residue test that was done on you at that time?
Khona a prima residue test
Or in
okanye
that
lokho ke
evening?
lokho ke okubonisayo ukuthi isibhamu sike saqhuma mhlawumbe ke yabona nentuthu okanye i-powder yesibhamu eselele khona umuntu owakwenza lokho check ukuthi khona ukusala insalela nje zokudubula kwesibhamu la kuwena wathatha lezo ivivinyo.
Yakhona into ababezenza nokusikhamisisa bethatha namathe kuningi into ababezenza lapha noma ngeke ngisakusho konke okunye ngasakhona kodwa nje khona into ama-test abawenza kuthina namathe nani yonke lento besikhamisisa nayo yonke leyo.
Yeah,
Khona ama-test abawenza.
there are tests that were conducted there. There were quite a number of things that were done to us, including the fact that there was some swabbing that took place or that they did inside of our mouths. Well, yes, I confirm. There's quite a number of tests that were done there.
Okay, but now I'm just being specific. I'm not referring to the buccal swabs or any other investigation. I'm just specific with the prime residue.
Yabona ke sikhuluma nge-prime residue. Uyabona. asikhulumi ngalokho ukuthi mhlambe bathathe amathi mhlambe Meyiwa.
ukuthi angikaze ngibe sesimweni sokubhekana nokwenzeka leyo nto so angingazi noma kwakwenziwa yona noma kwakwenziwa ini so angikaze ngiyenze lento ngaphambilini.
The challenge is that I've never became a part of such a test before, so I wouldn't tell as to whether that was done or not.
But you don't recall any test done into your hands?
Awukhumbuli nje ezandleni zakho khona nje ivivinyo ezithizo kanye ama-test athize enziwayo.
Njengoba ngithi khona ababesenza khona nje engikhumulayo basikhamisisa besithatha namathe nakufuthi okunye khona nje into abasenza zona khona lapha
Well, as I have already said, that there are some things that were done on us, including the nuchal swabs or the saliva swabs, and as well as the taking of the cell phones. Even the cell phones were taken that very night, right there at that spot. So there's things that were done to us.
Because I can't imagine gloves.
But you can't recall if it was done from your hands, is that correct?
Yes, I cannot. I cannot even recognize what was being done.
Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
There is a statement that you made which has been marked as Exhibit V1.
A statement of Senzo V1, Semakwe V1.
Okay. But I'm not asking you direct from that statement. What I want to ask from you is that this incident took place plus or minus 9 years ago.
This is plus minus 9 years.
Yes.
That's correct.
And it will be very difficult for any person to recall the incident that took place long time ago.
Kuyo banzima. Kuwo wonke umuntu ukuthi angakhumbula isigameko esenzeke eminyakeni o9 endlini. Yes, I hear you.
And the only thing that will assist that person is the recordings. It may be the statement, it may be the diary, or anywhere when you recorded the details of the incident.
Into engamlekelela ke umuntu makunjalo ngaphansi kwaleso simo ukuthi istatement mhlambe sabhalwa ngalolu suku ukuthi kwabhalwa kwe-diary zonke lezi zinto ke ezazenzeka mhlambe zabhalwa ngaleyo ndlela ikhona ke okungamsiza ukuthi angakhumbula.
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
Yes, I hear you.
Because that recording, be it a statement, be it a recording that was made in a diary, wherever wherein you recorded, that person recorded the incident, is the only reliable information of what transpired at the time of the incident.
Ngoba phela ke leyo mininingwane ebhalwe phansi mhlawumbe ebhalwe phansi kwi-statement ebhalwe phansi ifakwa kwi-diary okanye yabhalwa phansi okanye yaxoshwa nanoma ikuphi la umuntu engakwazi khona-ke ukuthi makakwazi ukuthi ayibhale khona ukuthi ayifake khona. Iyona nto umuntu angancika kuyo-ke ethembakalayo leyo mayelana-ke nesigameko esenzeka. Lokho uyakuvuma?
Ngeke kube angikuvumi completely, angeke kube lokho kuphela namehlo wami nawo angakufakazela lokho because ngifikile la ecourt ngambona omunye wabantu ababekhona endlini.
I would partly agree with you on that one, or I cannot entirely agree with you on that. Even my eyes as well were instrumental pertaining to the people that were inside of the house. That can also serve as evidence.
And the recordings that was made by that person when everything was still fresh in his or her mind will assist the same person to recall as to what transpired at the time of the incident.
Uyabona ke nokuthi ke isigameko sasesisha kubhalwa phansi zonke izinto ezenzakele ezimayelana ke naleso sigameko. Leyo ngxenye yokufakazi ebhalwa phansi iyakwazi ke ukuthi imsize lo muntu emva kwesikhathi ukukhumbula ke ukuthi wabhala wathini kuleso statement khona lapho la bhala khona.
Yebo ngiyakuvumela lokho.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
And do you understand the purpose of signing a statement or signing a document?
The what?
The purpose of signing the
Inhloso.
document or the statement?
Inhloso ke yokusayina i-document okanye i-statement uyayazi uma ke uthi manje sengiyasayina ke suke inhloso kuyiyiphi yokuthi usayine leso statement and lelo phepha ulisayinayo.
noma ngingenalo ulwazi olugcwele lalokho but ngiyazi ukuthi mangisayine ekugcineni mhlawumbe kusuke ngisayinela ukuthi leyo nto yenziwe ishiwe yini or yes.
Even though I may not have full knowledge of that, however, in the end, when I sign,
Yes.
I would be confirming that that particular thing that is contained in that document, it was furnished by myself.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. And then when you signed Exhibit V1, you were confirming that what is contained there came from you.